Hello folks, I want to talk about a technique from the field of psychology called focusing. This was created in the 60s, I believe, by a psychologist named Eugene Gendlin in collaboration with Carl Rogers. And what it is I call it a Western meditation because it's a way to be with what is without pushing it away or pulling it in. I will say, both in psychology really and in Dharma, one very important concept or position is that we meet experience without pushing it away or repressing it, as is a common mode in the West, or acting it out, which is another mode. Example, if I were to become angry, if I acted out, I'd punch somebody or cuss somebody out, discharging the tension, which became popular, I believe, in the 60s and 70s with the human potential movement, a mistaken version of achieving proper tension in the body and the organism. The other extreme is repression, more typical of the turn of the century, not the 20th but the 19th century. Repression is basically what Freud explored, which is the mind suppresses the feeling, the impulse. For example, anger, the mind suppresses it, buries it, and it comes out in all kinds of tensions and symptoms. It doesn't just dissolve. And our way of reaching it is through meditation, by touching the tension, touching the emotion, touching the thought, giving it a space as a friendly host, not acting it out as we just described, and not suppressing it. And very quickly the thought, the feeling, whatever it is, the reaction subsides and becomes what we call self-liberated. Now in focusing, this technique was developed actually for the field of philosophy, for exploration, phenomenological exploration, but soon it was found that it was able to help people open, and grow. I'm going to give you brief guided instructions. I'm going to go through as if I were going through the process, and I would like you to try it. And it's very Western, it's very specific, and it's kind of like a I should say tension focused or object focused version of meditation. Of course, meditation is broader and it leads to a much broader, natural, relaxed way of being. But for somebody who's skeptical, or somebody who sometimes doesn't know how to deal quickly with a tension, this is a very, very effective method. And the notion is that as there is a shift in the body, there will be it's a cognitive shift, it's a learned shift, and you can check that out by seeing how you think about something before you do this practice and after. And it can take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And it goes like this. First of all, I search within myself and I ask myself, what tensions are keeping me from being completely happy? And for example, I may find, and I'm drawing personally from personal experience, I might find there's some tension or some thoughts about physical health. So I take these thoughts, these tensions, put them in a bottle. That's one way to kind of open the field, to create space. It's just an imagery. Put it in a bottle and bury it in somewhere miles away. Next time I find there's some worries perhaps about not enough money, wanting things, I take those tensions, put them in a bottle and bury them far away. Next may be some wish to get out more, so connect more, wanting more activity, you put that in the bottle and put it far away, creating this space of from what kept me from being completely happy. and so on. Once we created this space, then we make a decision. We scan our body, perhaps, or our feelings, and say, what's the number one tension in my body right now? What's the number one tension? I find it was a physical health, so let's take the physical health back, open the bottle, and put her on the body. Where in the body is it? I might find it's in the heart area, slightly what's called the high heart area. And now I try to visualize, to see, to sense this tension. Does it have a shape? Does it have a form? Does it have a color, a temperature? I find it's like a dull wound, a dull, widespread wound on the heart, a longing. And then I try to find one word that characterizes this tension. Just one word. So I'm trying to, what I do is touch the tension without trying to push it away or pull it in or change it or suppress it or make it feel better, make it feel worse, but just touching it. I put my hand over my heart and I sense it's like a dull ache. It's like a melancholy. It's like a longing. So I throw out a word or two, not more than that. Very simple. It's not an exercise in intellectual analysis. And I say something like ache or longing. And something goes ping. Sounds like longing is a good word for it right now. So let's touch this heart. It's a dull, darkish longing. And as we touch it with our attention, we do it very gently, lovingly. It's a way of loving ourselves. And it opens to something like melancholy. Let's say it kind of spreads out a little, becomes a little lighter, a little thinner, and it becomes a melancholy. Now it begins to switch into a lighter essence of something I would call love. It's like the love of good times, the love of feeling good in the body, the love of having the freedom to go anywhere, do anywhere, anything. So that love becomes now more of a sunny, radiant energy in the heart. Continues to develop into a warmth, feeling of love. Lightness. Let's say we have experienced this shift, this cognitive shift, that it shifted from that dull energy to a light, bright energy of love. We could stay with it longer for the sake of the instructions here. At this point, we thank our karma, we thank whoever we feel like thanking, or just life, for giving us the opportunity to experience this experience, and we just allow the taste of that experience to sink in for a moment. And we dedicate maybe whatever we have learned to the benefit of all beings, which is my addition from the Buddhist tradition. And we come out of the focusing and feeling that the experience is something that's lightened us up a little bit. It's made us feel a little lighter, a little more flexible. And that's basically focusing. It's just focusing on one specific tension to see where it goes. Sometimes we don't go anywhere with it. Sometimes we don't know anything. But that's all right. It's important to stay open, not to want to push or force a conclusion. You have more than one opportunity. Another plus in this technique is that it can be done in pairs. One person can be the guider and another one the guided. If you do Googling on the internet on focusing, you might find scripts and guides and articles about that. So it's not a great cure or panacea, but it's one more tool in your arsenal, especially when rather than doing meditation, which is not an aspirin or a cure, you wish to focus on a specific immediate tension. This becomes natural enough that in time, this process you can do informally, just in your own real time. All right, well, I wish you all well. I hope this is helpful, and Tashi Delek.